Hey, what's up, everybody? Prospector here with Watcher of Realms. Guys, I have broken my record by a long shot on Apocalypse 2 for Semrah, hitting 492,910 fragments. And today I'm going to show you how I did that. But anyways, without further ado, let's dig in. Alright, so first I want to talk a little bit about how Semrah works, and I'm going to kind of break this down as we go through the first couple phases of the fight. I'll go into a time lapse like I usually do in these kind of videos, and then I'm going to break down the hero gear. Also before that, we're going to also break down the team and why I selected the team that I have. Alright, so we have the Death Saw. Semrah charges up the Titan Saw, attacking enemies on the left and right sides. The skill has extremely high damage, but can be interrupted by controlled skills, stuns for the most part, causing the charge progress to reverse and briefly reducing Semrah's attack. So you can get up to 12 stacks. Every single time you do that, it's going to slow down the meter going up, help you give a little bit of time to get ready for a Carnelian ultimate. Earth Shatter. Maybe later on, Semrah lifts the Titan's shield and slams it into the ground, creating a violent shockwave that deals damage to all heroes. This isn't too, I want to say, intimidating. Really, it depends on how much of the actual buffs or debuffs you have on the boss. You have that attack down, you have the damage reduction, you should be fine when this comes around. Acidic Venom. Semrah utilizes Titan's Drake to spray Acidic Venom. This is going to be that third phase that's going to be in there. He's going to come around, he's going to lift up his arm, come around, swipe past the team, put a bunch of poisons out. This is why heroes like Eloin are essential for Apocalypse 2. But more into it later on. Let's go into the team that we're going to be using. Alright, so this is the team. It's going to be a Watcher Esotericist faction team. Now, typically before I was using the Chaos faction, so I was running around with Valderon. We had Durza in there as well. And I think that was really it as far as Chaos faction was. I was just bringing along Valderon to do a ton of damage and be him a nice ground damage dealer. And then I would also run around with Nerissa as well. So I had an AoE damage reduction like First Year Nerissa on the team. This time around, we're going to be using our Draylin for that. So Draylin on her passive here, her talent, applies AoE damage reduction to all allies within the ultimate range. This is a minus 30%. So as long as you keep them within this range here, which is very possible, I'll show you, they will get that minus 30% damage reduction and will stay up on them the whole fight. And while we are here, I also want to go over the fact that on the Awakened level 1, she's going to have this damage increase to allies plus 25% when the ultimate is triggered, and also the ultimate's range is increased by a significant amount, so to make it a little bit easier for you. Alright, so other than that, we are going to have Nasty on the team, who's going to be the Lord for the Esotericist faction, and we're also going to be running Numera and Vorn. This is the Poison Squad, the Poison Explosions. Vorn is just there to be doing a ton of damage with poisons, and whatever he does for damage is basically doing that. There's not any shields to help him with the shield break. We're not really using him for that. We're just trying to get stacks of poison. Nastia is bringing that nice minus, I believe it is a minus 30% magic res reduction on the ultimate, which is going to make him take basically an extra 20 to 30%. Math is kind of weird on that, but it's going to increase the amount of damage that the magic damage dealers are doing, which is going to be Vorn and Numera. Besides the fact that she's just an awesome lord for the faction, their ults are going to come back a lot faster, going to increase their damage. Her debuff up to a 40% increase as well there. That's going to help our Eloin come back. Eloin is going to be on the team for the cleanses on the ultimate. Heals all allies in range for 60%. She's a really good healer. The base healing every second, lasting for 10 seconds. The first healing will dispel debuffs from all allies in range. She's also going to be a High Awakening, but if you get to Awaken level 3, each basic attack launched has a 20% chance to dispel debuffs from allies. That's going to help with our poison phase, and she's going to be the only one dealing with the poisons. Now to Numera, talking about those poison explosions. So when she activates Nature's Wrath, immediately gains 2 extra Grimthorn spikes and rapidly launches all Grimthorn spikes to random enemies in range. After charging for a short period, each spike dealing 520% damage and inflicting 1 stack of poison. And then on Poisonwood Branch, she can also, during Nature's Wrath, inflict stuns, which can help with that Titan Saw phase. And we also do this Toxic Surge, consumes the poison effects inflicted on the target, dealing a certain amount of magic damage based on the poison stacks consumed, up to 30 stacks. Now Nastia is going to be putting out a stack, Vorn's going to be putting out 2 stacks, and I think she puts out some stacks as well, so you can end up with 4 stacks up there typically, but we only really need the 3. The way it kind of works out, you kind of have to bring Nastia for the magic reduction, the increase in damage for Numera, and then you got 1 stack from there, and then you get like 1 stack from Numera herself. The only other good option is Vorn, so it's not really overkill in any kind of way. Having the extra stacks there is going to be good either way you look at it. Then on Nature's Grasp, each Grimthorn spike inflicts Grimthorn roots and damage reduction on the enemy hit. So we're looking at minus 30% damage reduction that goes on to the boss debuff. This is not a buff for your allies. You can minus 30% to the boss and minus 30% for your allies. Total is 60%, not really how the math works out there, but definitely required for those high damage runs on any kind of boss that's hitting you really hard. Things like Abyss 1 is another one. She's very good at that as well. Now we want to talk about Durza a little bit. Durza is going to be bringing inspiration during his ultimate. He also has this nice physical damage reduction. It changes based on the amount of HP your allies have left. So if you activate, you can get up to a total of plus 70% damage reduction when his ultimate goes off. He's also going to be putting out vulnerabilities to physical and magic damage. This is going to help Kagiri and Sumukong do extra damage during the vulnerability phases. And whenever his ultimate is activated, it's extra 20% damage. That's basically how that calculates. And then during Sanguine Rate, each time an ally's HP is deducted, applies 40% inspiration to them. Inspiration works like increases attack proportionally to the caster's attack. So whatever Durza has for attack here, 16k for mine, 40% of that when he activates his ultimate is going to go on to the allies. They're going to get 40% boosted attack, and that's going to help them get past defenses, magic resistance, you name it. Everything is going to be amazing with Durza. I love Durza, especially for long boss fights like that, as long as he can stay alive. Carnelian. Carnelian is offering us this soul essence here. When receiving fatal damage, the bearer consumes the soul essence and becomes unyielding for 5 seconds. This is pretty essential in Apocalypse 2. You can get really high scores without Carnelian nowadays just by pumping up your hero's HP a little bit, bringing some extra survivability, damage reduction, shields, and stuff like that. But this is the most convenient way to do it, is just using our Carnelian. And there's a certain way you have to use her, and I'll show you that today's fight. Ingrid, everybody knows Ingrid, right? Ingrid is just going to be dealing true damage. She's also going to have Radiant Erosion as well. So Radiant Erosion deals continuous true damage based on defense of the inflicted target every 2 seconds, stacking up to 3 times. Now our main DPS are going to be Kagiri, Sumukong, and Numera. Numera has plenty of support to help boost her damage as much as we possibly can. Really depends on how you use her. If you want to like really prioritize her abilities throughout the fight and use it randomly, I like to focus on the vulnerability phases to increase the overall damage of the fight. So Ingrid is mostly there for her Lord skill to help out with Kagiri and Sumukong and dealing extra damage. Periodically increases faction team members' damage and healing bonus by 50% for 20 seconds. The more faction allies there are on the team, the more frequently it takes effect. After the Lord deals direct damage to an enemy, faction team members deal 20% extra damage to the enemy within 3 seconds. This effect can stack up to 1 enemy per Lord's attack. So yeah, I mean, she's coming in just doing a ton of damage, just runs her stellar mode the whole time, just rips into the boss and does whatever she can. True damage, Radiant Erosion, ignoring magic resistance completely, and then buffing our 2 main DPS heroes, which are going to be Kagiri and Sumukong. Now there's a little bit more utility here. We have Sumukong. He's not just the damage dealer. He's also going to be bringing in these stuns with his clones. Basic attack has a 25% chance to deal damage and inflict stun. If the enemy is immune to stun, when triggered, it instead deals an extra 200% damage 1 time. So when you use it, when the boss cannot take a stun or immune to stuns, basically anytime the boss isn't charging up the Titan Saw, you're gonna get the extra 200% damage. During the Titan Saw, it's going to increase his chance to inflict stuns, and he should be able to get 12 stacks pretty much by himself, especially with the Awakened level 5. The Golden Glare here, worrying about Sunder. Not really going to be too concerned about Sunder. So you can kind of focus on it and you can kind of keep an eye on it, but it's kind of difficult. But if he does have full Sunder, he has a special kind of ring around him. Usually he has these things like kind of floating around him. And when he has full Golden Glare, he's gonna just turn it into a big radiant thing underneath him. And when that's ready, it's gonna increase his damage by ignoring 60% of the target's defense. Just a ton of damage coming out of Sun Wukong, one of the best DPS units in the game. But the kit does seem like it's really complicated. The talent's really long. There's all this going on down here. It's not that complicated. On Splitting Hairs, he does deal stun as well, but all 18 of those hits will not count as each stun. There's a bit of a countdown between each stun that can be inflicted and have an effect on the Titan Saw charging up. So keep that in mind. But when you do activate Splitting Hairs right at the beginning of when the Titan Saw comes up, it does increase his chance for stuns for him and his clones. So that's something to keep in mind when we're going into the fight. Our boy Kagiri, also not just a damage dealer, he's doing more than that as well, but he is going to be our top DPS in the fight. Kind of unchallenged, but it really depends on how you play the fight. If you play the fight like you're trying to maximize damage and you're playing it right strategically, he should be up top. If he's not up top, you're probably doing something wrong. Alright, so he has the ability to dispel one buff from the enemy whenever he does this extra strike here, and there's one that happens randomly, so you don't really have to ever activate his ultimate in order to get that buff to come off. On the second or the middle phase of Semrah, he's going to create these stacks, and if you don't remove those stacks, each one is going to increase his attack, HP, and defense by a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, until it becomes unbearable, unbreakable, and he's just gonna sweep the floor with you. So that's something to keep in mind. He's also bringing in these bleeds. He deals continuous true damage to 1% of the target's max HP per second, increases their physical damage taken by 10%. So if a bleed is up from Kagiri, anybody doing physical damage is going to get extra 10% going into the boss. You can see how the synergy works here. We're going to attack down, AoE damage reduction on the boss. We need cleanses. We need the invulnerabilities here from Carnelian. We need massive damage, and we also need inspiration and some more damage reduction all over the place, right? That's the things that you're gonna have to check off that checklist in order to have a good team on Semrah and survive. Now, all these guys are as close to 30k HP as I can get them. It is difficult to keep a lot of them alive without having it, but some of the heroes like Kagiri, Sun Wukong, and Numera all have a high base HP, so when you're building them, you can kind of not worry about HP too much. You just want to hit that 30k if you have these damage reductions in place. Also, one thing to keep in mind is with Draylin, she is able to do a massive heal, just like kind of like Firsty, but also on top of that, she puts out the damage increase, she puts out the damage reduction on the allies in her range, and she also gives them a bit of a shield. So she's kind of top tier when it comes to this, and she's also serving that tank. You do need a defender or a really, really high HP unit on the team as well. Make sure that when the falling stones come down, those will hit your defenders or highest HP unit on the field. You don't want that to be one of your damage dealers because they'll get wiped off the map. Anyways, let's get into the fight. I'll start breaking down these first 3 phases for you and show you what's all going on. They'll be kind of quick because typically with me and on this fight, I guess, it's hard to cycle the ultimates properly every single time the vulnerability comes up because the boss just goes down too fast. Alright, so let's start with placements a little bit, make sure we got everybody in the right place. So I like to go to this view, it kind of helps me out a little bit, just being able to see the placements a little bit better. Nobody is in Wings of Grace set, so unfortunately I kind of lose out that my Draylin is in a morale set for the extra 5% damage. We do have that. But because stats are just so important, I wasn't able to get a Wings of Grace set like I would have liked. Anyway, so we're going to start with Kagiri. Place him down. We're going to go with our Thurza here, facing upwards. And then we are going to go with Sun Wukong right here, facing upwards as well. We're going to go with Carnelian facing this way. And then we want to place our Numera right here. And we will put Eloin right here. And then we can kind of place the rest of the units. So you can see Draylin has everybody in range. We have 3 spots to work with. I don't want one of the heroes to be at that bottom tile because they'll be out of Carnelian's range, and then we risk losing them. Let's go ahead and place our Draylin here facing up. We're gonna put Ingrid right here. Actually, we'll put Ingrid out, sorry. We'll put Vorn right here. We're gonna put Numera right here. Ingrid is just kind of a passive player. It is nice to have her here, but if she does get taken out, she gets taken out. So she's not gonna be in Draylin's protective range. All right, so we do need to switch Ingrid around a few times at the first part here, just to get the stacks of Sober Arcana going. We don't have to worry about the damage incoming quite yet. Let him hit us. That's 2. Now she's back in Silver mode. I'm gonna bring her back to Stellar mode. That's gonna be the 3rd. And we're just gonna let it go. We can also hit Carnelian just to get another stack, just to get it done. There you go. Alright, so we're coming up to the first round here. So what we wanna do is we wanna activate Draylin now for the damage increase. We wanna have to activate Durza. And then just a few seconds, we'll activate Kagiri. Durza will trigger Kagiri. Then we're gonna activate Sun Wukong and our Numera. All right, I'll get the damage numbers on the screen here. Something to keep in mind is that during Durza's ult, Kagiri can be activated anytime whenever he takes a tick of damage from Durza, because he does reduce your hero's damage or HP. He can be activated, and Durza can make his Ember Strike trigger, and he will attack the boss. So that's basically what you're gonna do for the first round here. I'm gonna have to break this down later on in the fight, like way later on in the fight, to show you how I'm surviving, because it does get pretty finicky at the end there. Now Durza might not be ready right away when the next phase is ready here, so vulnerability. I'll explain that in just a second. Okay, so we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna activate Draylin. We're going to activate Sun Wukong. We're gonna activate Numera. We're gonna go ahead and hit Durza, and then hit Kagiri. So Sun Wukong and Numera kind of lost out on there. I probably could have waited on that one to make sure that they got the inspiration from Durza as well. By the way, you can see that Durza does reach everybody. We have Eloin here. She does reach everybody by default. And we have Carnelian reaching everybody by default. And then we also have the range from Draylin is right here, which everybody is within. So we should be pretty decent to go. The damage buff here. Damage extra 25%. Okay, so the AoE damage minus 30%, attack plus 10%, that's from the invigoration. And then we also have the final damage taken is reduced by 30%, only takes, it's coming from Durza, so only takes 70% damage. So if you really needed to, later on in the fight, if you're really struggling, you can activate Durza before some massive hits come in to make sure that your allies stay alive. And you can also see right now the big shields that they have that came in from Draylin's ultimate being activated. So for Eloin, this is Eloin's phase here. These guys are gonna go down, the boss is gonna go down really fast. You're probably not gonna be able to see it. I might have to go to like phase 2 here in order for you guys to actually see what's all going on here. So we're gonna activate Numera right away. Boss went down too fast, couldn't take the basic attacks from the team. That's typical. And then, yeah, so Kagiri will be at a disadvantage starting off, and eventually that'll switch up. He'll be losing now because Sun Wukong and Numera, typically, he's not even losing, but typically they get to hit the boss a little bit more in the vulnerability phase, starting off early. And then later on, Kagiri gets back to his ultimate fast enough with Durza, and it kind of works out. He comes back all the way. But this time around, it looks like he's doing just fine. Alright, so next phase here. Let's see if we can get him. Yeah, see, gonna come down and see that Falling Stone came down and hit Draylin. You want a high HP unit. She's over 100k HP. Alright, so can I get a Carnelian hit off on this one? No, the boss is just dying too fast. So here it comes. I'm gonna go ahead and activate Draylin. I'm gonna activate Durza. Activate Kagiri. As soon as Durza's going, hit Sun Wukong and hit Numera. Numera is exploding those poisons. You can see a bunch of the poison stacks just disappear, then they start working their way back up again. He triggers them all at once and does a ton of damage. She's doing really well considering she's going up against Sun Wukong and Kagiri. these guys are just phenomenal in general. I'm gonna have to stick around here a little bit in order to really show you guys how the fight works before I leave you in a time lapse, but don't have to activate anything throughout here. Let's see if we can get the next slam here so I can show you how to activate Carnelian. Might not be able to. So it goes back, start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you'd hit. So what happens is Carnelian has a bit of a cooldown, or not a cooldown, it's a bit of a delay before her ultimate actually triggers. What you want to do is trigger her ultimate at the right time, right? Let me get these guys activated again. So you want to get her ultimate triggered at the right time, so after they take that hit, if they have less than, I believe it's 30%, that number might not be accurate, I'd have to look at it, but when she activates, she will reapply a soul essence if they lost it. So later on in the fight, the boss is gonna hit the heroes so hard, the HP is gonna go down. HP is gonna go down to like 0%, and at that point, if Carnelian triggers before they get healed back up again, she will reapply the unyielding that she's offering with the soul essence. So now be ready to go for the next hit again. It's very important to get that right. That'd be good to do a Apocalypse 2 fight from beginning to end, really just going down and grinding out the details of what I'm doing so that you guys can see it and hopefully give it a go. Again, the boss just went down from the basic attacks. It's kind of annoying. So go ahead and activate Numera. We'll activate Sumukong. I'm gonna hit Eloin just to get the poisons up here right away. And I don't think that Kagiri is gonna make it around this time. Yeah, it's not even worth, I don't think. I think it's been too long. I'm gonna just let it go. He's gonna come up. Yeah, I wouldn't have made it. All right. So why are we doing that? Why are we trying to hit in between each phase like that? Well, the boss has 9 phases before it just starts demolishing you. Like it just slams you so hard you can't survive. It's impossible. So there's only so much HP in each phase, from the top of the health bar to the bottom of the health bar. Each phase, each center or section of that phase is gonna have so much HP. So when it gets down to 0 and it goes into that vulnerability state, his HP is kind of invincible. And in that state, you have to do as much damage as possible to really bring those numbers higher. So we're doing like 400 to 500k mech fragments against the boss. He doesn't have that much HP. So you're just hitting him when he's vulnerable and doing as much damage when the HP pool opens up. So that is why we're trying to hit during that phase. Just to kind of break that down and explain that the best that I can. All right. Can I show them this time? Can I show them this time? Come on, boss. I might be able to. Phase 2, we're still having a hard time showing you the actual mechanics of the fight. Yeah, so the fight really starts out around, we're not gonna make it. The fight really starts out around phase 5, phase 6. That's kind of how it works. So 1.6%, we're gonna activate Draylen again, get Durza going, and for that, we're gonna hit Kagiri, going to Sumukong after Durza's going, and then hit Numera again. Just kind of how it goes, you know, the boss can't even stay alive at this point on this account, or this type of account, in between each phase before I can actually utilize or see all the mechanics that the boss does. This is something that's an endgame issue. It's not really an issue, it's kind of just how it's designed to be. Now you can see, like I said, I'm not really activating anybody's ultimates right now. I do like to keep it as fair as possible, but strategically it's just smarter to wait for the vulnerabilities to come up so we can make sure that everybody's ultimates are there when it's time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, activate Carnelian. He's gonna hit. Carnelian's ultimate will go off. If their HP is low enough and they lose their soul essences, she will reapply them. We'll be ready for the next round. Everybody will have soul essence. So let's go into Draylen. We're gonna go into Durza, activate Giri, Sumukong, and then our Numera. It's actually like one of the easiest comps I've ever worked with as well, to be honest with you. If you have the gear, you have the heroes, it's not so bad. The hardest phases with this team is going to be the poison phase, because we are not running Nastia to help cleanse. we're only running Eloin. Alright, we're gonna see poisons come up here. As soon as this arm starts to basically like just pack back, I guess. Let's see, right there starts coming forward, you can activate Eloin a little bit ahead of time. This is important as well to make sure that the poisons can be taken off within the next 2 phases in time and manner. It's very important. Hold on one moment. The boss is going to hit me right now. I do need to activate Carnelian. Right after that first hit, you have to activate Carnelian to make sure you don't take as much damage from that slam. That slam hurts. Alright, so coming down to 2% again. I'm going to activate Draylin. I'm going to activate Durza. I'm going to hit Kagiri. After Durza activates, hit Sumukong, hit Numera. Same process all the way through. But yes, you want to activate Eloin as soon as you can while she is still cleansing everybody after the poisons are put on your team. That way, because you're going to have to go 1 round without cleansing, you have to use a Wood Elf to stay alive. And then the next round, you want to make sure her ultimate's back. So you want to get that off as soon as possible. That's why she's built with a ton of rage regen as well. I know I'm really trying to break this down here, but I think I should be able to show you this portion of the fight by now. We're in phase 3. Hopefully I can show you the proper activation of Carnelian here. Maybe not. You can see those stuns are coming up, the stacks here. It's attack minus 32%. Every single time it gets a stun during the Death Saw charge, and we're not going to be able to show you again. Activate Draylin, Durza, Fury, Sumukong, and Numera. Every single stack you get on there reduces the amount of attack that he does. That stays on there for a significant portion of the fight. If it times right, it can actually kind of fall off into the next phase as well a little bit. Alright. Here, I'm not really doing anything special either. With Earth Shatter, if later on in the fight, I might activate Eloin just to try to help keep the heals up. But we're using Carnelian for the big slam only. This is the phase where the buffs do come up. Here it comes right there. Enhances damage of Earth Shatter, increases Semrah's physical damage reduction by 10%, and magic damage reduction by 10% as well. Kagiri will swipe with an Ember Strike and just take that off. I think it's an Ember Strike. Activate Carnelian. We'll time that right. If the HP is low, she'll reapply their Soul Essence again. I know I just keep saying the same things over and over, guys. It's a long fight. It's a very long fight. Alright, we're coming down to the end here. So this is where we're going to be. I'm not going to worry about the slam this time. We are just going to go ahead and activate our guys. There we go. As you see, we got Kagiri at 349 right now, 350, Sumukong at 315, Numera at 263, going back into the poison phase. I'm going to speed this up for just a moment. Now it's ready to go. Here we go at that poison phase that's coming back. As soon as it goes forward, you can activate Eloin. There you go, she cleansed. Remember that big slam is coming back. As soon as the arm goes back, it locks into place, you can activate your Carnelian. They'll get hit. If it hurts too bad, they'll reapply a Soul Essence. If it's too low, the next phase in between there isn't really too bad. If you're struggling, you can activate the ultimates in between a little bit if you need to. Alright, we will take poison again, which is fine. Same process. There we go. Remember, Eloin has an A3, so you can activate her or not activate her. It's kind of up to you. If she has the A3, she will cleanse these all off eventually. There, they cleanse themselves off without me activating. Alright, Titan Saw phase again. Going to go into a 2x just for a moment. That hit will hurt really bad later on. We will use Draylin, I think, in between there. Try to keep ourselves alive. You really need to get more stacks on here. Later on it helps a lot. But starting off right now, it's not typically too bad. Alright, here we go. Here's Carnelian's ult, timed perfectly now. I like to click on her like this as the saw is coming back, and as soon as it reaches right here, we're going to hit this button here to activate the ultimate. Right there. And now he's going to hit Carnelian will activate, reapply soul essences, and we're going into the next phase already. Just like that, it's perfect. If you do that every single time, you time it perfectly right, just take your time going through it, hold on the ultimate to slow down the fight into slow motion, and time that just right with Carnelian, you're gonna go through the whole fight. Do as much damage as you can until your Carnelian can't keep up, which if you build it right, it should be able to take you through the end of the fight. It's just gonna be a matter of can you do enough damage. And I think, guys, that's all I need to explain. So what I'm gonna do is pause it right now. I'm gonna take myself off the screen. We're going to do a time lapse. When I get to like phase 7, I'm gonna go ahead and come back and try to break this down. What I'm doing, it might be actually phase 8 where I start to struggle. I want to show you the struggles that I'm having because it changes a little bit in that part of the fight. But I'll see you in a little bit. Alright, so we just entered phase 8. Things are going to be a little wild going on from here. We're at a 411 mech fragments right now. The goal is 500. Like I showed you before in the playtest, I did hit 492. But with the talking to the beginning of this fight, who knows what we're going to end up with. It's going to be big numbers no matter which way you look at it. But things are going to change a little bit going forward from here. Phase 8. He starts hitting really hard and you have to start defending against everything. So I'll try to break that down the best that I can going forward here. So in the beginning, you're going to get hit really hard as well right here. And it's nice to have Draylen on this be available, but she wasn't available. So there you go, big whack. This is why the 30k is so important. So you can see, we can check out the soul essences that we have, see if anybody lost any. Durza lost it. He does not have 30k HP. I can't seem to quite get him there. So every single time we come into this phase 8, I start losing my Durza. I might have to make a decision next week maybe to pump up his HP a little bit higher to see if I can get that to work a little bit better, but it's hard to say. Now we don't want to mess around too much in this part of the fight. We do want to make sure that we are hitting the boss pretty hard to get him taken down. So I'm going to activate Sumu Kong first here. I'm going to hit Numera. Try to get some damage out on the boss. We do want to start going through this pretty quickly. No more messing around. I might use Draylen here to try to keep my Durza alive. Unless he gets a soul essence applied to him again. You can see we got 11 stacks, so we didn't even get the 12 stacks. So this is going to be difficult. So let's go ahead and try to keep him alive, shall we? Activate Draylen now. I'm gonna hold on to Cornelian right now. Activate Kiri. We did manage to keep him alive with that nice sweet Draylen save. Thank you so much, Draylen. Well, this time around, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and wait until we take down this last percentage here. And I do lose that damage buff because Draylen's not going to be ready for the vulnerability phase this time around. That's okay. So activate Durza, activate Sumu Kong and our Numera. You can also hit Giri because remember I said it doesn't have to be in the trigger of the ult. It can be any time in the ult. There's certain trigger points in here that he'll be doing damage, but there we go. We got that done. 432k to make it through that one. It's rough, guys. It is rough. All right, here we go. We are trying to do a lot of damage, like I said. Remember that. Go ahead and activate Draylen just to make sure that we're safe. We're gonna activate Numera. We want to pump this guy down as fast as possible. We're gonna hit Sumu Kong. We're gonna wait for Kagiri. Here we go. Here comes that big slam. It hurt pretty bad. Go ahead and hit Durza. I'll let Kagiri go again. There we go. Lost the Durza. Not too surprised, like I said. A little bit of a scramble. Durza's not the most important thing on the team, though. He is bringing that vulnerability, or those vulnerabilities to the boss. He is bringing some damage reduction and some inspiration. But we can continue to go on here with our lives without having him on the team. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. We are at 440k. Going on 45. Here we go. Here comes that Earth Shatter. We do want to activate our Draylen right here. We're going to activate Kagiri on the swipe. We can also hit our Numera. Everybody should be pretty good. Now the question is 10%. Should we wait until it goes down? Can we make it? Or should I activate Sumu Kong? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. Gonna wait like this. Gotta reapply. It's a good decision in my mind. Alright, let's go ahead. I am gonna hit Kagiri. He should get done with his ultimate and strike anyways with a sweeping strike. Hopefully by the vulnerability goes down. I think. Yep, there he goes. I don't know, it's dependable if that was on there or not. The next poison phase. Boy. Oh boy. 450k. Here we go. Acidic Venom is coming in. We are going to go ahead and activate Numera. We're going to activate our element right now. We'll go ahead and hit Kagiri or Sumu Kong. As soon as that goes back, we're going to activate Carnelian right now. I'll hit Kagiri as well. Just trying to take him out. We're going to put Thurza back on the field right now. What are we doing? Soul Essences. Draylen's lost hers somehow magically. We should be able to get that back. Acidic Venom. We're gonna do a little concerned about that, right? It gets a little bit lower. We're gonna go ahead and activate it right now. Hit Sumu Kong again. Draylen will help us hold off. We can also put down a Wood Elf if you'd like to. When the next poison comes out, we should be able to cleanse that all off. Basically what we're doing there is just trying to hold off long enough for Eloin's A3 to cleanse off some of those debuffs. Here it comes again. Now we should be able to cleanse fully. And we gotta watch out for the big slam. Here we go. Comes. Vulnerability's up. Do our thing like we always do. 470. We're gonna end up with going in the next range here. This is going to hurt. This is where things really start to hurt. So we're 480. He's gonna slam us twice. And it's gonna be almost impossible to survive. Okay. The first slam's gonna be coming in just a moment. Don't die, don't die. Don't worry, we're okay, we're okay. There's gonna be another hit. I'm gonna go ahead and activate our Draylen. Ooh, that was a bad move. I was wrong. I thought last time he did that twice. Anyways, let's go. Get Durza going for some magic and physical damage. Vulnerabilities. Go ahead, pop off our Numera. Hit our Sumu Kong as well. Reinforce the fact that we have 12 stacks. About to pass our old record here. Going good. We're gonna pop 500k. I like that. I like that a lot. You guys gonna just take her down, or should I activate? He's questionable. I'm gonna have to activate. I'm nervous. They did it anyways, darn it. Just like usual. Over 500k, guys. 503. Let's go. We're going to the next phase. We're gonna get wiped right here. If I would have just not used Draylen, I may have survived a little bit longer, but we should be able to pick off a little bit extra damage here in the moment. I think he's gonna hit me pretty hard right now. I think. Ew. Everybody lost their soul essence pretty much. We knew that was coming. We are gonna just try to get as much damage as we can right now. Gonna hit us pretty hard. Ooh, there they go. There they go. We got Vorn hanging out. Kagiri's hanging out. Kagiri's always a lone survivor at the end. 512k though. We did much better than my first time around practicing this before we did the run. That's pretty cool. Now we're gonna just try to see if we can get Kagiri to get a couple extra hits, because why not? Here comes Earth Shatter. There we go. By the way, when Kagiri is sheathed in his ultimate like that, if you didn't know, he is pretty much invulnerable. Invincible. He can't take any damage. But I think he's about done right now. I don't think we're coming back in time for that ultimate. Boom, there you go. 513k mech fragments, guys. That is by far my highest score. It is wild where this has gotten to. It's wild. Yeah. Mech frame is collected this time, 513. We're gonna save the record here. Lock her in. There we go, 513,954. Uploading the fight data, definitely uploading the fight data. And then stats, we have Kagiri coming at 1.25 billion. We have Sumo Kong at 1.187 billion. Almost a billion with Numera at 925 million. We have our Ingrid coming at 625. Vorn, if he had a lot more awakenings, he could do quite a bit more damage. And that's something to keep in mind. There's room for improvement on this to do even more damage. I would assume that a well-built, highly awakened team could be able to pop 550, 575, something like that. Nastia is awakened level 1. She's doing 553, but she's also bringing a lot of support. And we have all these heals. Look at 22 million heals coming out of Draylin. That's why she's so good as well with Narissa. Then we have Elwyn healing for 45 million as well. Guys, let's go over the heroes. I'll show you the gear. Locked her in at 513. Much higher than I thought it was going to be. Much higher than I thought it was going to be, guys. Where would that put me in the leaderboards? It's probably not locked in there yet. And we have some guys up here in the 575 range already. 550, 575. Yeah, I could see that with the little higher awakenings and a little bit of luck and RNG. They're running wow, they're actually running in it instead. That's interesting. But anyways, oh, we are locked in. Top 10, number 8 is where I'm sitting at 513,954. In the future, this will go higher and higher and higher as awakenings are unlocked. Anyways, to the heroes. Actually, I can just show you the gear right in there. Let's do it that way. Might be a little bit cleaner. All right, so Ingrid, we are running a tier Twilight. It is a little augmented, a 375 extra attack. We have Wicked Vengeance, attack bonus, crit rate, crit damage, attack speed on the weapon. We have attack bonus, crit rate, crit damage, and HP bonus on the breastplate. Trying to get her HP up to that 30k, like I said. Attack bonus, extra 3.3 on the main. Quad rolls. We're gonna have a quad rolls attack bonus with an HP bonus instead here. And we're gonna have another quad roll with flat attack. So we have a total of 2 HP percentage pieces with our 2 pieces with HP percentage substats on this hero. 27.2k attack, 347.5 crit damage, and 399 HP. Sumo Kong does have his golden cudgel maxed out. He even has a nice plus 35 attack speed on there with 710 extra attack, 3k HP. Wicked Vengeance, quad roll attack speed on the weapon, quad roll with flat attack. I do have flat or attack speed pieces that I could use on him, but I want him to hit as hard as I possibly can while keeping alive in those vulnerability phases. I don't want him doing more hits otherwise. All right, as long as you can get to that, make sure you can do the way that I was doing it, and you want to hit there in the vulnerability phase and maximize your damage. That's what you're going to want to do. Quad rolls here, quad rolls here, quad rolls here. Now you notice no HP bonus pieces. 40.9k HP. Sumo Kong and Kagiri and Numera all have very high HP, so you don't really have to worry about it. Attack at 26.2k, 390% crit damage. He does have a crit damage piece on. And the Kagiri, I think, is going to be the same way. He's going to have basically the same build going on. 1 crit damage, 2 attack percentage, Soulbound Arcana. His artifact maxed out with an extra 5.6% crit or attack percentage on there as well. Wicked Vengeance, quad roll here, quad roll with flat attack, same story. All right, on to Draylin. I am running the morale set, HP bonus, defense bonus, rage regen. Attack speed is nice and flat HP is nice as well. That's what you want on all 3 pieces. You want them to be identical, just like I just said. And we're going with the Astral Guardian just to help keep her alive a little bit. Not sure if it's quite necessary. You could probably go with a Salvation set to help her with her healing, help her with the Rage Regen. Maybe she come back a little bit more often. Whatever you decide to do, it's going to work as long as she has HP percentage, defense percentage, and attack speed on both of them. And then we're going with a Cadaver Gate Dagger for the extra 5% HP. All right, Carnelian. High HP percentage focused. Her HP is pretty low. We want high attack speed and really high rage regen. 120 plus should be good. We're gonna also run a golden scarab. I'm running the whirlwind weapon, attack speed, rage regen, attack bonus. And we have attack speed, attack bonus, and rage regen. And then we have HP bonus, attack speed with some HP bonus. And then we also have rage regen here with HP bonus. The attack speed and rage regen are essential on all these pieces, but as long as you get over 120%, you should be solid. I think I just said pieces, sorry. Nastia, going to be a tier Twilight. We have some augmentation going on here as well. We're gonna go for a quad roll with HP bonus on the weapon, Wicked Vengeance. We're going to go for a quad roll with flat attack on the breastplate, same story like I was saying before. And Nastia is not really getting priority gear. Kagiri, Sumu Kong, and Numera are all getting priority gear. So she's going to be the first one that you see is going to be a little bit of a wonky build with less than ideal pieces. But attack bonus across the board, trying to get HP bonus when you can. Same thing here. If you get enough HP, you get to that 30k, go ahead and throw a flat attack piece on there. 31.429k HP. We have 22k attack, 325% crit damage. You do want to focus on attack percentage more than crit damage with these heroes because they're doing poison damage. This is based off of their attack. We have Eloin here as well. So we're looking at 29.5k HP, 16k attack. It's nothing too crazy. I've seen builds with 30 to 35k HP, 18 to 20k attack, and still managing really high attack speed, rage regen, and healing effect. But you want to have about 110 to 120% rage regen if you're running a golden scarab, and then your healing effect 100 to 120 is where it starts falling off a little bit, but same kind of scenario. Golden scarab, no extras added on. We have salvation set, attack speed, attack bonus, HP bonus, healing effect. I dropped the rage regen where I could because of just limitations on gear. And then we have our attack bonus, invigoration, bangle, attack speed, HP bonus, rage regen, attack speed main here, rage regen, healing effect, attack bonus, HP bonus, rage regen, attack speed, attack bonus, healing effect, and flat attack. Very straightforward, nothing too crazy. It's just about making sure they have enough HP, enough healing to go through and do what she needs to do. Vorn, definitely not a priority geared hero. We have Blightcaller's Claw, looking for Wicked Vengeance, quad rolls, attack speed. Then we have a quad roll here with HP bonus on Wicked Vengeance for the breastplate. Attack bonus across the board, shooting for HP bonus as that force substat across the board. His HP is not really high. He's really bad at taking really big hits because his defense isn't that high. But at 33k HP, 17.9k attack, 348.5% crit damage. And then we have Numera, one of the other priority builds. She's going to be in a Shattered Hilt, a little bit of augmentation going on as well. Wicked Vengeance. We have a quad roll with attack speed, and we're going to have a quad roll here with flat attack. Just like you're eating Sumu Kong, you want them to hit really hard in between those vulnerability phases, pump up that attack a little bit more than the attack speed. Then we have attack bonus with quad roll with flat attack. We have a quad roll here with crit damage with HP bonus. And this flat attack on this one as well. Just enough HP to get her over that 30k threshold. There's my own requirement to make sure I don't have to worry about it. And as you saw with Durza, which you're going to see right now, he's at 27.9. He went down with that because he wasn't at 30k. So you definitely do want to hit that 30k if you really want to hold out. If I could have kept him alive, I may have survived a little bit longer using those physical damage reductions and magic damage reductions or whatever to survive that middle phase a little bit longer, but who knows. His attack for the inspiration is coming at 16k. We have 70.5% rage regen. Attack speed, you want some attack speed on him. His HP is at 27.9. If you can hit 30, go for 30 while you're still maintaining 15 plus k attack. We have a tier of Twilight, a little bit of augmentation going on. Warlord set on the weapon and breastplate, attack speed, attack bonus, and HP bonus. We have attack speed, attack bonus, and HP bonus. I'm using Warlord for that extra 25% attack for the inspiration. Invigoration, attack bonus, HP bonus, rage regen. And I have a flat attack and defense here, but what you would really want is going to be attack speed and then maybe some, I don't know, flat defense, flat HP. Probably flat HP is going to take you there, be the best way to go. Something like this works well, but replace healing effect with flat HP. Same thing, attack bonus across the board, and looking for those stats that I was just telling you. Anyways, guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you found it helpful. We managed top 8, and I have been out of the scene of breaking records in Apocalypse 2 for a long time now. I used to be in a top 10 weekly, but things have changed, and I got myself that Nastia, Numera, and Vorn set up completely. So that was just recently. Now I'm able to do this again. But anyways, guys, that's all I have for today's video. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you check out prospector.gg if you need help with builds, stage guides, hero guides, whatever you might be looking for. There's lots of stuff on there. Always make sure to check out Smile1. Smile1.prospector.gg helps support me and the channel and the website and all the community resources that I try to build for you guys. Also, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a comment down in the comment section down below. It helps boost the algorithm, pushing the video to more users to check it out. Anyways, I've been the Prospector. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, keep digging.